So what do you do when you wake up and realize that everything in our reality is poisoned, from the air we breathe, to the water we drink, to the food we eat, whether it's sprayed with chemicals or genetically modified, the clothes we wear, the frequencies going through the air. Most people, most people that we come in contact with are poisoned in some way or another. And you might be scratching your head thinking, how the fuck do we stay healthy in a reality where everything's been poisoned and altered to keep us sick? Well, I'm going to share with you two things. One that I personally learned firsthand, and one thing that Jesus told me on my visitation on October 20th, 2020. There was this time right after my divorce, I was in the shower and I was just replaying all the shitty things that happened in my life. I went from one moment being married, living in a 3-story house, palm trees, got to tuck my son in every night, games room, walk-in closets, soaker tub, detached garage, deck, had a gorgeous wife. And, when she wasn't willing to stick with marriage counseling, she decided to go out and put an end to our marriage. And I found myself in my old man's house, paying child support, coming to the realization that a job I had been at for 20 years was no longer able to, sustain a life that once provided for me and my family. And, my son was getting dropped off, crying to me, telling me how unhappy he was with his living arrangements when he wasn't with me. And this individual that my newly ex-wife at the time had got together with was putting my child support payments up his nose. And I was in the shower this one time and I was just talking to Jesus, and I was like, why did you guys save me? Like, are you just trying to drag out and prolong the pain, or what's going on here? And that's when I took this gasp of air in that was unlike anything I ever experienced in my life, and it was actually terrifying. And before I could understand what happened, it happened again, and I got a really bad feeling, so I got out of the shower right away. When I looked in the mirror, I had this cut underneath my eye. I'll try to find a picture of it, show it to you guys. But I knew something bad had happened, and I messaged some of my shaman friends and asked them what the heck was going on. And they said because of the sadness I was feeling in my heart, I slipped into this void and received a reptilian implant in my eye. I was like, well, that's fucking lovely. So, I messaged a couple of my closest shamans, and unfortunately there was a few days that I had to wait before any of them were free to, get this thing out of me. And so I was like, okay, well, the only thing I can do is send this thing love. And I decided, I was like, you know what? Okay, thank you to the reptilians. Thank you to this implant for showing me that I have to be more conscious of my emotions and my thoughts. And all I did was send this thing love. And when I got to my shaman healing, he told me that he's like, I can't charge you for this because this thing had already left. And it was basically because I did nothing but send it love and thank it for teaching me lessons. And on October 20th, 2020, when I was having a shower in the exact same place, probably a couple months later, the last thing the soul of Jesus communicated to me right before he left was that love is the key. And that came with a really deep understanding of just how powerful it was. So if you've woken up in a reality where you realize everything's poisoned, instead of being worried about it, not saying you need to become unaware of it, but if you're gonna eat food, if you're gonna drink water, if you're just gonna walk around and breathe and be fearful of all these things, it's gonna have a greater impact on you. So, I've been this is stuff I've been thinking about, and I'm like, you just have to understand that we are God and our bodies are amazing at healing. And, rather than seeing everything as being poisoned by these evil individuals, just see them as being scared, cut off beings, and they're coming from a place of lack of love, and just try to have compassion for them and know that your body knows how to take care of itself. So rather than freaking out about everything that goes into our body, send it love and just understand that you'll be okay in the long run. That's all I got. Thanks for watching.